everybody. This is Young Living Diamond Sarah Harnish, and you have made it to the live video of the Scriptbook Bootcamp. I'm so excited to have you for a few minutes tonight. We are training on the workbook tonight. So if you're brand new and you have no idea what I'm talking about or why I'm on, it is because we are training on a book that I just released. It's literally days old, and it already hit #1 on Amazon for aromatherapy and entrepreneur. It's an awesome book, but it's 25 scripts in one place. So it's easy for you to be able to teach. You want to teach on seedlings? You got a class. You want to teach on Gary Young? You've got a class. You want to go teach on thieves or CBD or diffusers or massage oils? You have a class for every single thing that you want to teach. So the way the boot camp flows is Tuesday night, I teach a class. If it's a longer class, I'll kind of flow into Wednesday and we'll finish it up on Wednesday. And then every single Thursday, I'm going to teach you how to use it. I teach you how to use the class. So it's not just, oh, I've got some head knowledge about this class, but you actually are applying and, putting into use some of this knowledge. Most of us will walk into a class, we'll walk out with maybe 2-3 pieces of information. But now this way, you're going to be able to really, really retain it and apply all the things that you have learned. So all these videos are getting collected and they're getting put up on my website, and you'll be able to go back there and see them anytime you want. Also on Thursdays, we're going to be launching the media packages. Now this week, we did most of that on Tuesday. But I'm going to turn my camera around to show you what I'm talking about. So if you go to oilabilityteen.com and you go to share, there's a button here that says 105 Kids Class. Now, when we get to the 106 class in 2 weeks, it's all going to be under the Scriptbook. So you'll click on Scriptbook and you'll be able to find it there. But for the core 5 classes, they have their own buttons right on the main page. So if you click on 105 Kids, hi guys, I should say hello to you, I'm sorry. Madeline and Deb and Jenny and Amanda and Sandra and Marsha and Leslie and Romer. And I'm just so excited you guys are here. Tom Anderson, Sarah Canfield, thank you for getting on. Cindy. Okay, so the kids class, if you scroll down, I think the media packages are as cool as what's in the book, because you've got so many resources to be able to go out and duplicate this and teach. So what I want to know is who is going to go teach a kids class in the next week? Because you got no excuses, right? Grab somebody in the next 24 hours and go teach a kids class. I think I'm going to run a challenge on that. I think I'm going to give away some books for somebody who goes and teaches a kids class in the next 24 hours, right? You have the script, you've got the PowerPoint, you got everything that you need to be able to teach. So the launch is right here, so you'll be able to find all the videos in one place. And then here's the PowerPoint. You can download it and use it. These are some extra slides if you want to customize it for yourself so you have the same slides that we designed. There's the script. Now, I won't be able to release the scripts in textable classes once we get into 106 and beyond because those are copyrighted. But the first 5 scripts, we have an agreement with Amazon to release those because they were released before I wrote the book. So we're good on those. So the first 5, you'll be able to get on and download the scripts. So no reason why you couldn't teach this week, right? All you guys still waiting for your books, which are coming this week, by the way. All you guys still waiting for your books? You don't need to wait for your book to teach this class. Just print the script off. Go teach a class. Textable class, I'm going to record that for you this week. That's the last little piece we've got to get up here. The challenge calendar. So this is pretty cool. You just click on any one of these things and hit download and it'll pop up and it takes you through that kit. So, have them, your child pick a favorite oil from the Little Oilers bundle and have them apply it. Place the bottles where you're going to use them. Write down emotional victories in your child because of oiling. To the right, how do they feel? Teach them how to use the Feather the Owl diffuser. Have them watch you oil. Let them smell your oils. Have them apply Kid Power to their wrists during a stressful situation. Have your child apply Tummy Jize after a meal or a snack and add the Kid Sense toothpaste to your monthly wish list for the simple swap. Have your child make their own diffuser blend out of 2 Kid Sense oils. Try Sniffles in the diffuser for going to sleep instead of sleepy eyes to switch it up. Do a foot massage with your child using an oil of choice. I like Kid Power, which is the kid version of Valor. Have your child apply sleepy eyes on their feet at bedtime. Get a 10-pack of roller fitments so that you can easily turn all of your starter bundle oils into roll-ons. Choose one of the diffuser recipes from the workbook, which we're training on tonight, right? Isn't that awesome? Genius. So this just kind of takes you through. It even tells you some special places that you can put some of those oils on your kids. Guys, it's free. It doesn't cost anything to use this. So you just go to the 105 page, and what I would do is have your team run through the challenge calendar, do a kids challenge with them, teach the class, have them all print the calendars off, and have them start using the oils. And then there's some graphics to market your class. So if you got a countdown, say you're going to teach a class in 3 days, you can put a graphic up saying it's coming in 3 days and 2 days and 1 day, and here it is. And then we also have some social media shareable images. So I'm going to run a contest this weekend to see who's sharing these images and tagging me in it. So here's a pro tip. Hyssop on the back of the neck for tantrums from the 105 kids class in the game plan script book. This one is pro tip, sniffles on the back instead of the chest, because your lungs are more accessible from your back than they are from your chest. So you're going to get these little tips and teases and stuff that you can use to share with your people that you want in classes. And then we put for the first 5 classes, we put the coloring sheets up from the workbook. So, utilize some of this media, and it's going to be a huge blessing to you. And it's totally free. Totally free. So our landing page after we get into the next script is going to be on the game plan script book page instead of the main page. But these are all free for you to use. Very, very easy to grab and go and sit down and just start training your team. What do you think would happen if you made it a goal this year that every single person on your team had all 25 classes? Right? Oh, my word. We actually thought about that, and I have tracking for all 25 classes right in the back of the workbook. So let me bring up the workbook so you guys can see it on the screen here. Let's see if I've got it in front of me. Oh, I don't have it in front of me. Let's see. Today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we have 5 days until we kick off the next thing in boot camp. So next week, we're going to do kind of a run through of the first 4 of the core 5 classes. I'm going to do it a little quickly because I've already taught these classes from the script book. So we're going to do the 101 oils class on Tuesday, 102 thieves on Wednesday. We're going to do 103 Ningxia on Thursday, and we're going to do 104 CBD on Friday. So I'll teach a class for an hour, and then I'll do the workbook right after, so you know what to expect. Yeah, I know. Brittany says my OGV would skyrocket, and how incredible would that be? So if you're not familiar with the script book, this is what the teacher's edition looks like, and this is what the Euler edition looks like. It's a 6x9 book, pretty thick. It's almost 700 pages. And this is what the workbook looks like. So every Thursday we're training on the workbook, and I'm going to take you through that class, and we're really going to take a closer look at it. So many of you guys have asked me what the differences are between these two. Nothing. They're exactly the same, except the content is the same. This is just easier to teach out of. So when you order this on my website, you're going to get it shrink wrapped, and you go grab a 3-inch binder, and you'll take the dividers and you will assemble your binder. And now you want to go teach a class, you just pull out that one class and you can teach on it. So say you want to teach a fearless class, which we're doing in a week and a half. You can go grab just those pages and look at how big the font is on it compared to, the script book. It's significantly bigger than the script book is. But there's dividers and tabs. It's very, very easy for you to, read the Gary stories and just grab what you need out of it. So this is only available on my website because Amazon does not print with no binding. You have to have a binding to print on Amazon. This one is available in like 20 countries now. So if you are in Mexico or Canada or Europe or Australia, Brazil, South America, it's available in all those countries. So if you have leaders and stuff that you can't reach, that you want to get trained, this is a wonderful resource to be able to get to them. One way I'm using this is I'm ordering 5 or 10 of these a month on the website, oilabilityteam.com, because they're discounted steeply if you get them in bulk. And I use these for my product users. I tell them just put it next to your bedstand at night and highlight it, highlight the things that you're learning. So what are the things they're going to learn? Oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, the kids class, fearless, and that class is amazing. Oils of the Bible, raindrop, feelings, gut health, the 4 most important young living supplements, enzymes, Bloom. So we're covering Bloom, Art, and Savvy in a skin class, the hair class, the tooth class, hormones, animal aromatherapy, massage, intro to diffusers, seedlings, and the whole baby line, the manly man class, techniques. So I'm going to train you on neuroauricular technique and the ear technique and the valor balancing technique, how to make your own blends. There's an entire blending class, einkorn, and then a tribute to the founder of Young Living, D. Gary Young. Then there's 7 different protocols that you can run with your team. So cleansing, weight loss, emotional release, energy, Gary's Great Day, grief, and internal oils, and 2 bonus classes, colds and flu and teacher training. So all I got to say is if you don't have this yet, what are you doing? Go get the book. The neat thing about boot camp is it doesn't matter when you jump in. Like if you jump in August, it's going to be fine because we're just teaching another class. It's a totally different class. So Tuesdays we do the class. Wednesdays we might finish the class. Thursdays we do the workbook. So you guys ready to jump into the workbook? Do some workbook training. All right. So you thought that book was a lot of information, right? Enter in the game plan script book workbook. This thing is a super beast. It is crazy. I'm trying to decide if the easier way of teaching out of this is to hold the book open with my hand, or if the easier way of teaching it is to bring it up on my screen and let you guys see it in that place. I think it might be a little bit easier to see on my screen. So I'm going to open the file for you. And we'll take a look at the inside of the workbook. Who wants to take a peek at the script book workbook? So if you haven't had a chance to see this mad dog yet, let's see here. Let me flip around here. So this is the script book workbook. I'm going to try to make this a little smaller so we can see it. There we go. And we're just going to skip ahead and get to, the front page, it had your name on it. So I had to show you this because this is what happens when you teach classes, right? My name is blank and I am a Young Living Diamond, right? Royal Crown Diamond, not just Diamond, Young Living Royal Crown Diamond. So it goes through the contents, and the workbook perfectly parallels everything you're going to see in the book. So, what's the purpose of the workbook? How's it different? And how do you use it effectively? The workbook is meant to be used side by side with the Game Plan Oil script book. That book is a compendium of 25 scripts. We just read through them all. The script book is a different kind of beast. It's designed as a cover-to-cover knowledge. The workbook is designed as cover-to-cover application. Okay, so the book, cover to cover knowledge, the workbook, cover to cover application. So we're going to get you taking all of those kids' oils and trying some new things with them, and maybe things you never even thought about, bonus trainings and action steps and, additional oils to add to your ER, 3 months of ER ideas, not just 1 month of ER ideas, or loyalty rewards ideas, which is in the back of the script book. So I picked up many books to give me ideas on oiling, and I'm just praying that this workbook really takes your team to a whole new level, because we're studying how you use oils, and we're doing it in a way that you actually learn, which is by topic. So the first 5 classes in the script book I call the core 5. We did the 5th one this week. Next week, we're going to do 1 through 4 because I've already taught those. So we're going to move through them a little quickly. And it's because those are our starter bundles. So if you ever need an idea of what to get next, you can go to youngliving.com and grab the next starter bundle of the 5. And I highly recommend owning all 5 of them. When you're done with those 5 sections alone, you've got some incredible training on the core products that Young Living has. So oils, thieves, Ningxia, CBD, the kids line. Now, after class 5, it's topical learning, and you are going to love the topics. These are the 25 hottest, most requested topics in oiling. And the workbook is going to make it easy for you to track your oil studies. So at the end of each training, I'm going to leave a space for you to journal how your experience is going and write down new recipes and blends and things that you've tried, and to make a wish list for your next order. And there's also a running checklist in the back of the book of all the oils and all the oils products that you've tried to date. So every worksheet set is going to follow a 10-point format. And this is what we're going to follow tonight going through the kids class. So the first one is key points from the class. And we're actually adding that document to the script book page so that you can go back and check your answers. So the answer key will be on the main website. I don't have it in the book because I didn't think you wanted an 800-page book. 700 pages enough, right? But you can go to my website if you don't know the answer to something, and it's up there. Number 2 is action steps to become an oiling pro. This is one of my favorite sections. So it takes you through and says, do this, do this, do this, do this. You're not trained as using myrrh as a fixative? Well, let's practice that. Fixative means that it drives the oils deeper into your skin and it holds them onto your skin and blends them better together so that they don't bounce into the air and you're getting more of the oil in your body. There's quite a few fixative oils. Lavender's a fixative, and copaiba's a fixative, and peppermint's a fixative. Those are all fixative oils. Myrrh is a fixative. And so you've never done that before. Well, then let's make one roll-on with oils that you really like plus myrrh, and then another roll-on with oils you really like without myrrh. And why don't you feel the difference of what it feels like to have an oil with a fixative in it? So that would be an example of action steps. Okay. The third thing is diffusing recipes. And I had a lot of fun with these. There's even a Ningxia diffusing recipe, which has no actual Ningxia in it. But it's a berry recipe basically. And then loyalty rewards. So we give you 3 months of ideas. There's a checklist of products mentioned in the class. So if you want to try everything from the class, you can go there and tell your team, okay, in 2 weeks, we're going to be studying the kids class. So this is a list of all the products from that class. If you want a, good, better, best option, if you want a good option, I'd recommend getting the kids starter bundle. If you want a better option, then I would get the roll-on set and Kid Power also. And if you want a best option, then I'd recommend you get XYZ and you go through that list of all of the products that we're going to train on. Then there is bonus training not included in the script book. So this is special stuff. It's rare training from Gary Young 20 plus years ago. It's, the diamonds and some of their stories and allegories and, hidden training, stuff that's just not out there. It's really hard to find. So it's really, really cool stuff. If you don't have the workbook yet, you need to go get it. Then there's a DIY craft. And I got to tell you guys, I'm just going to shoot straight. Yeah, I know. We're looking into the PowerPoint. I'll let you know. I love the fixative. Yeah, it's just an example of one of the action steps. So DIY crafts, I'm not a craft person. So I had to really make myself do this. But basically, it's all different types of things. We take you beyond body butter and bath salt into some really, really cool experiments where you're making candles and you are like good candles. They're good ones. They're with beeswax. And you're making Play-Doh and you're making salves and you're making some, I know, an Ningxia diffuser recipe. This is going to be an amazing boot camp. You guys need to be on it. And so we're going to do a bunch of DIYs. Then there's affirmations for the class. You ever felt that you just need a little extra love, right? You need the right words given to you because they're not coming out of your mouth at that time. And so, that's a biblical concept to speak life over yourself and life over your business. So every single one of these classes has affirmations themed for that class. And the kids class affirmations are themed to be affirmations for your children that you speak over them. Then there's journaling where you just kind of chronicle some of your experiences of playing with this kit in that way, or these oils from that topic in that way. And then tracking your training. That's just a section. The 10th part is just a section for brand partners to chart their follow-up if they're teaching the class, plus some invitations list and all of that. My favorite part of the workbook is the bonus training. So I've created new techniques. I've trained you on how to organize your oils, how to store oils, a bunch of topics not covered in the script book, how to read a reference guide. Have you guys ever been trained on how to actually read one? So grab a highlighter and have some fun. The journaling section is deep. Right? It's really, really, really deep. And then the end of this book contains the bold close for you to use in your classes. I told you what was in the back of the workbook in the last bootcamp section. So if you want to go, we're going to collect those videos and put them on my website. You want to go check that out. Flip through the back of it. There's, icebreakers, games, 20 different games you can play, from Gary Young bingo to Never Have I Ever. And they're all oils themed, to trivia that you can ask in your classes for giveaways, and all sorts of stuff in the back of the workbook. So it's pretty intense. This book is a very intense oil study in a way that you've never done it before through product education. So to make the training more fun, I'm going to turn it into a game. For every single class that we do, there's a few exercises that will give you additional training, like checking out seed2seal.com. I want you to check them off as you do them. We call this Oils Hangman. Once you complete each exercise, you're going to get a secret letter at the end of every single class. So this is the first of 25 classes that we have done the workbook for. So I'm going to give you the first letter tonight. I want you to compile all 25 letters and then head to my website at oilabilityteam.com and click on the script book page. And you're going to enter the code given to unlock a special class from the second Game Plan Oils script book. Yes, a sequel is coming to this book. So you're going to get to preview it for free on me. And I'll give you guys a hint. It's a Candida class. So if you think you consume a little too much sugar, you do not want to miss that class. So great job learning and working through the workbook. It's just my way to say thank you to all of my workbook users. I'm just so grateful. Kathy asked a question. Is there any idea to get the videos? I don't know if I can find that because you guys need to ask me again. Where can we buy beeswax? I'll recommend it when we get to that. I didn't know about fixatives. Somebody asked about videos, but I cannot find the question because you guys are asking so many questions. So if you ask it again, I'll try to answer it. All right. Yeah. So Hangman, it's just a way of having fun, and it's going to unlock some content from the next script book. So one more thing, I want this to be a blast. It's a non-stressful, self-paced oils learning curriculum. So to eliminate the stress, I asked my son to draw every single divider between the classes as a coloring page for you. So you're going to get to learn the plants that we're studying for each class in a whole new way. And if you love coloring, you have my permission to go to Amazon and go get some Prismacolor pencils or some markers. If you're going to use a marker, I like Copic markers, and just enjoy the intro to each worksheet set. So all of those pictures are the plants that are in those oils from that class. So we didn't just throw any pictures up. We're trying to teach you what those plants look like. So it's just a different way of studying about it. Are the videos embedded in the PowerPoints? Yes. When will the letter be given for Hangman? Every single time we do a workbook night. So tonight's a workbook night, so I'm going to give you the first letter. All right. So make sure that you look for the game at the end of each chapter to unlock those free scripts, the free script from the second script book, which is coming. It's only for my workbook people. So I'm just so grateful for your desire to know and grow. May this help you understand and apply oils in a whole new way. So are you ready to get started? Because I'm ready to get started. I'm super, super excited. I'm going to show you what that first workbook page looks like because I actually gave it to you for free on my website. So this is the 105 Kids Class Divider. So we give you the colors so you know how to color the plants in. It's going to be a little smaller, April, than the next one. I'm not going to do another 700-page book. It's too big, too big. So this gives you the colors, and this one lets you color it in. So you guys, for the first 5 classes, we gave you those coloring sheets for free. So you can go to my website and download them if you don't have the workbook, and you can print those off and you can color it tonight. Or if you're waiting for your workbook to come, you can color it tonight. And you can see what the colors look like. We're going to post these for every single script, and we'll post both of them for the first 5 scripts. All right. So let's take a look at the 105 workbook worksheets. I'm going to scroll down and just get straight to that class, and we're just going to dig a little bit deeper into the training and just kind of go through it slowly. Now, next week, I'm going to do the workbook with the class. So those classes will probably run about 90 minutes because we're going to do the workbook together in the same sitting as the class. This class, we broke it up because it's a brand new class. I've never launched it, and I wanted to go a little bit slower with you guys. So here we go. I've got it up. And it's time to jump into the workbook for the kids class. So this is what the printed sheet looks like. And I can actually show you in live format because I've got it right in front of me here. Let's see here. This one is, here we go. So this is what it looks like in the actual workbook. So here's the 105 kids class. And this is the Game Plan Script Book Workbook. Yep, Crayola colored pencils are wonderful. So you guys can sit here and color while I'm teaching you tonight, or you can jump right in and take a whole bunch of notes. I like Prismacolor ones. So there's always a little intro into the chapter, and this one's a little special to me because I'm talking about my kiddos. And then we're going to go into the key points. So I am not going to give you the answers for the key points because I want you guys to look them up. So there's going to be a couple of things with this workbook that will be, you working on your own and me not just giving you all of the information because, then you're not going to learn it. You learn it by going back to the script. Twistables are really cool too. Yeah, I hope you enjoy this workbook because it's supposed to be a lot of fun. So, my son did a beautiful job. Thank you. My son, if you guys did the Unstuck boot camp, and you heard about Gabriel, my oldest, he's autistic. He's the one that got his vaccinations and then he didn't speak for 5.5 years. He's the one that drew every single one of these. It took him almost 4 months to draw all these for you guys. So I pray that it's a huge blessing to you. And you can see what frankincense looks like, geranium, camphorwood, blue tansy, and black spruce. So here's the kids class. Finally, all thing kids in one class. And guys, we hit it all. We do science and history and cost and safety and tummies and noses and courage and rest and even monsters under the bed. So I begin a little bit heavy and I talk about discernment in this class because as parents, we get wrapped up in the I'm too busy fast food parenting culture, and that's not good. You don't want your head to be in that place. So if your busyness is compromising the safety of your family, then it's time to reevaluate some of that busyness. If there's anything that I've learned coming off of COVID, this is 77 days of fever that I've had now, still have a 2-degree fever. If there's anything that I've learned from this, it's been the importance of my health and making sure that I'm investing it. Yes, the next script book will be a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, not a lot smaller. It'll probably be like 500 pages, but I don't think I'm gonna be 700. So just the importance of my health. I mean, you can only cut corners for so long, and then you're dealing with something that is going to slow your busyness down, whether you want it to or not. So what I said in this class was completely true at the beginning of it. Pre-clean living, we were averaging 17 visits a year to our doctor. So that means a couple of months a year, we were going to the doctor twice in the same month. Aside from our episode with COVID-19, which I picked up after 7 weeks of very heavy 20-hour-a-day writing to get the script book done, we had not had a doctor's visit for an illness in almost a decade. It's been almost 10 years since our family has been to the doctor. That's crazy. No Tylenol, no Advil, no ibuprofen, nothing for almost 10 years. I am convinced that my personal case of the virus would have been much more severe had I not had the natural tools that I have at my disposal. The bone broth, the biomat, doing coffee enemas, Epsom salt baths, raindrop, oils, supplements, herbs, all the things that were part of my protocol. I'm convinced that I might even still be in bed even now. So that's the difference that good food, low stress, enough rest, the right supplements and oils make. I mean, it's a corner turned at how I view cost and time versus safety. And this is just a mama speaking to a mama. I view it differently. I love our life now because we're not focused on sickness. We spend most of our time in preventative maintenance mode. And admittedly, that means that I'm spending a lot of time cooking good food. And I'm spending a lot of time getting teenagers on routines with solid bedtimes and saying no to things that are too stressful for our family and spending a lot of time sourcing my food. We very rarely shop at the grocery store. I'm getting a lot of my stuff from farms. And I spend a lot of my time learning new oils techniques and learning new things and supplementing. So even our adult kids get supplements dropped at their door. Even the ones that don't live with me that are married, I'm still dropping supplements off at their door. And it's a much better place mentally to be. And so that's a place that this script starts. It starts in that place of discernment. And if it seems heavy, it's because it's important. It's very important for you to come. You can't look at everything saying, I'm too busy to learn it all. Right? I know these books are big, guys. I get it. Just put them both by your bedstand and every night admit to just do something. Maybe you get through one paragraph because it's been a really crazy day. You know what? You did a great job that day. If you did one paragraph, it's awesome. It's awesome. If you get through one chapter, that's incredible. That's awesome. If you get through one worksheet, that's great. But you're not going to learn anything if the books just sit on a shelf and you look at them and say, oh, that's too big and it's too much to learn, right? So this is the kids class. Denise says, I wouldn't care if your books were 1,000 pages long. I love you, girl. You're just amazing. So this is the kids class. So I'm going to share my babies with you. And they're not so baby anymore. They're getting pretty big. And there's a lot of them now. Look at these, all my kiddos, all my word. So this is the Harnish herd. And when this book was published, this picture was taken a month before we published. So my oldest, the one that drew all the pictures for you, that's my son with autism. There he is with his wife and his second born daughter. They have 3 little girls. And so little Lilia, I got to hang out with her today. She was delivered a week after this book was published, and she's granddaughter number 3. Granddaughter number 1 is right here. That's Gabe's oldest. That's little Rosa. And then we've got Lila, and then little Lilia was born after we published. My daughter is third from the left. So this is my daughter, Grace, and she's with her fiance, Mr. Bush boy. He needs to get a haircut. Derek. And he's second from the left, and her wedding is just months away. So you guys are going to see lots and lots of wedding pictures coming up here. So let me just go through all of the kids. My oldest is Gabriel. And then my second born is Isaiah, who is about to get engaged. And then my third born is Gracie, who's getting married in October. And my fourth born is Benjamin. We call him Benju Monkey. And then my fifth born, little guy right here, he's 14. That's Noah Justin. And so these two are still being homeschooled. They're both in high school. And I'm 3 years for being an empty nester, which is pretty crazy. And I've got 3 beautiful, beautiful granddaughters. Yeah, we give all of our kids nicknames, and they're saved as their nicknames in my phone. So this is Alligator. This is Bear. This is Bug, Booga Bug. We call her Booga Booga Bug. This is Benja Monkey. And this is Fuzz. I don't know why he got called Fuzz. And this is Nugget. That's Nugget, and this is Chunkamunk. So all of the kids, but that's the whole harnish herd. And this beautiful young woman right there is Bree, and Bree is my daughter-in-law. So I am blessed to have almost son-in-law and a daughter-in-law and another daughter-in-law coming soon too. So the second picture is just my original 5. This is the harnish herd in full form. From right to left, we got Gabriel, my oldest. They're in birth order. Gabriel, Isaiah, Gracie, Benjamin, Noah. So we always joked around that Grace was going to get married when she was 40 years old because she has 2 big brothers and 2 little brothers, right? They're pretty funny. So Gabriel is stirring the pot, just like he usually does. And Isaiah likely instigated and caused Gabriel to want to whomp somebody. Gracie probably took it on the chin. If you're familiar with color personalities, she's our beautiful yellow personality. And then you've got Gentle Ben right here, 6 foot, almost 3 inches tall, 16 years old. He's our 4th born. He's watching the whole thing. And then the little guy right over here, you got to keep an eye on this one. Very, very smart little kid. 14 years old, Noah, maniacally planning everybody else's demise, right? He is just amazing. He's so gifted, Boy Scout, and just such a gifted computer scientist. And Benjamin is our football player and just loves the Lord with all his heart. Gracie's beautiful faith, very gifted writer, very, very gifted writer. I've been trying to get Gracie to write Game Plan for Teens for you guys. And Isaiah can build houses. The kid is just a genius. And Gabriel's my artist, as you saw, but he's going to school for being a mechanic. So this is my family. I don't think I've had a chance to really show you my kids. And they're great kids. I am a blessed mama. My grandma name is Lolly. My husband's name is Pop Pop. And so when my grandkids come to the house, they come to Lollipop's house. Right. I'm a chef. I love cooking. And so it's a fitting name because I'm always in the kitchen cooking up something. Today we'd made 100 Belgian waffles with all our grandkids around us, and just absolutely I love it. I mean, being a mom has been the best journey of my entire life. And all of this is just to drive the point home to you. It's worth your time to protect your crew. I know it's easy to go through the drive-through, and grab food. And you know what? I'll admit it. I go through the drive-through sometimes too, right? We had 2 families stop in and visit us tonight, and I'm leaving for Florida in the morning. And we went out and got brisket and brought brisket back for everybody, but when I left for Ohio last week, I took 3 hours and I made my kids stuff out of cashews and cauliflower, and they ate it all while I was gone because I didn't want them going out and getting junk food, right? So it's worth that extra time to protect your family. The picture that's in the script book on all of those images is my oldest granddaughter, Rosa, and she loves her oils. We had so much fun doing a photo shoot with her and little Lila. Both my grandkids are on that PowerPoint. And it was really a labor of love to put that together for you. We had entire teams of photographers and editors and graphic designers to make those slides for you. And so now you've met my crew. Now let's meet the script. All pre-orders, they already started going out yesterday. So the only thing that you guys will be waiting on is minis because I'm still writing that one. All the other things should be going out. You should have it within the next week, I'm thinking. If you don't, shoot me an email. So this script is meant to be an introductory script for someone new to oils, and you're making the case of use this, not that. I love the little oiler starter bundle because it serves the same purpose as a full premium starter bundle. I mean, you're getting, 5 oils, a diffuser to get them oiling with intent and purpose every day. They're not getting on the website and ordering a single oil. You're giving them a playground to get them excited. So let's get you excited and dissect the script. So the very first thing that we do is I'm going to have you go through some key points for the class. So when you're doing this homework assignment, I want you to open up your script book, and you're going to have it side by side with your workbook. So you're going to get your script book open, look at that class, get your workbook open. I like to take a big book and just kind of hold my script book open to the page that I'm on, and then open up the workbook, and you're going to fill in the blank basically in the first section. And so we're going to do just a little self-evaluation here to start this off, because I just want you to really honestly assess where you are in your oils journey. And it doesn't matter which of these, there's no right or wrong answer to it. But let me just tell you where I was, because 7 years ago, I was in a very, very different place. I love getting to know you guys too. So please, if you come to events, I'm going to be speaking in San Antonio on the script book coming up in April. So if you see me at events, come up, tell me your story, give me a hug. I love to meet you guys. I love to hear your stories with oils. I love to learn from you. I am not at a place where I think I know it all. I just put in a book what I did know. But there's so many things out there that you guys know that I don't know. And so please, like, you see me at convention, grab me, give me a hug. I don't care if you got a mask on or not. I write these books for you guys because I want to, get you to a place where you realize that you do know enough to be able to do what you need to do. And you don't need to sit and wait for somebody to teach you and train you, but you can open books and you can research and you can learn of your own volition. And it's okay. It's not right. Oh, when? I think it's April 24th. I'll be in San Antonio. So you guys need to come. No, nobody's asked me to speak in Arizona. So get 300 people together and I'll fly out to Arizona and I'll come speak out there for you. So what I want you to do for the very first section in the key points to the class is to just give me a quick evaluation of where you think you are by checking one of the boxes below. You know what? I will get the link for the San Antonio tickets and I'll put them up here on my page for you guys so you can come. It's the first time I've spoken in a year. So I don't know. I'm going to have to give away a year's worth of speaking presentation books, right? Met you at Michigan. Oh, I love speaking in Michigan. That was awesome. So much fun. So you tell me where you think you are in your oils journey. We've got 6 different numbers here. So you're either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Number 1, I'm just beginning. This is completely new from most of what I grew up with. You are a little bit weird. And also, I got dragged to this class and somebody put your book in my hands and they are also weird. So that's number 1. Number 2, I've been to a class or 2 and my interest is peaked, but I'm still a sugar-laden cough syrup hoarder. I love the smell of Pledge and I love plug-in air fresheners. Number 3, I have a stirring inside. I'm not sure that I'm willing to let all of my habits go, and I'm not really sure I'm willing to label read everything yet, because everything can kill you, but you do have my attention. And some of the stuff out there is avoidable, and I would like to know a little bit more. Number 4, you more than have my attention. I have officially begun the simple swap in my home. I've not yet fully arrived and there's more work to do, but I feel really good about the changes that I've made so far. And I am interested in all the classes. Okay. Number 5. Are you number 5? I am an oils toting, diffuser carrying, oil a stranger homie. I have diffusers in every room of my home. Matter of fact, I got more than one diffuser in many rooms of my home. I leave diffusers at my friends' homes. I make roll-ons for people as I meet them, and even a couple of strangers at Walmart. I want to absorb every drop of knowledge out there, and I share with everybody because their lives matter. This is a full-on lifestyle for me every single day, forever. And if I rank up doing it, woohoo, right? Yeah, I know, right? Well, you guys are saying you're a 5, but let me give you number 6, right? Barbara, it's okay if you're number 1. Totally okay if you got dragged into this class. This is an equal opportunity learning environment. Okay, equal opportunity. You will never, ever, ever get judged in anything that I write because for 30 years of my life, actually 39 years of my life, I was a Pop-Tart eating, DiGiorno pizza, swallowing, Mountain Dew drinking, Advil popping, air freshener candle mama. I've spent more of my life doing that, over 30 years of my life doing that versus living this way. So you're never going to get judged if you're a 1 or a 2 because I know what it feels like to be that. I've spent more of my life there. All right, number 6. Here we go. 5.5. Chris is like, I'm a 5.5. Yeah, you know it's coming, don't you? Number 6. Not only am I absorbed in the oils lifestyle, but I am taking everyone with me. Everyone, my mom, my best friend, the guy that I work with that always has cappuccino stains on his t-shirt, and people who aren't on my team yet that are about to be oiled. I am building this as a business all the way to Royal Crown Diamond because who gets paid for their passions, right? I'm a 6 and I'm running for Crown. So, yeah. A 5 aspiring to be a 6. You can do it. Terry's like, I'm a 5. I got an oil for that. So you write down what you think your level of oiling is. And my goal is to get you a notch or 2 higher on that list by the time that we're done with this book that, maybe some of you guys might go full on 6 on me. And I would love that. Absolutely love that. So back to the class outline. Now what I'm going to do is with these key questions, I'm not really a 6, baby. Nina, I love you. Tina, 6. Barbara says, okay, I'm a 6. I'm not a 5.5. Harold, you're 4.5. I love it. Deanna says, I want to be a 6. Kathy says, I'm a 5, want to be a 6. All you got to do is share these scripts. get out there and start oiling people and teaching them classes. And you have fallen into the 6th category. So let's take a look back at the class outline. So I didn't just pick random things like what color is the bottle of lavender? Like I wasn't doing that. I was trying to pick things that got you thinking and really tearing apart some of the meat of these scripts. So let's take a look at it. And I'm not going to answer these for you because some of them are personal for you and some of them you need to go do the work and look it up, right? So the change in my home happened. How many grams of sugar should you limit your kids to? A 2008 study showed babies who were given acetaminophen, Tylenol, had A. How many rose blossoms does it take to make a single ounce of rose oil? What are essential oils? Why is the feather of the owl diffuser really cool? Name some features. Which oils come in the little oil starter bundle? Match up the oils with their properties. And so I even gave you Kid Power in this one too. So Genius, is it for minor skin irritations, discomfort in the stomach? The Go-To Focus Oil, the Courage Oil, stuffiness, restlessness. So, you're going to match them up. How long can one 5 ml bottle of oil last? What are the top safety tips for kids? All oils in the world fall into 4 categories. What are they? Which toddler application will you use the most? Your children should be able to play safely without worrying about, all right, without worrying about. So now we're into section 2. So each of these chapters, each workbook chapter has 10 points to it. So section 2, these are your action steps to become an oiling pro. And action steps are easy for this class because all you really got to do is carry the oils around with you because your kids will create the situations for you to try them out. So your little oiler bundle comes in a transportable, tiny little cardboard box with a magnetic lid. It's pretty cool. That cardboard box is extra thick. It's almost like Young Living knows that you have kids. So you just plop that little box in your purse or in your backpack so you've always got oils when you need them. So that's your first action step. Second action step. On your first loyalty rewards order, get these. I want you to get the Aroma Glide Roller Fitments. There's 10 of them. It's a 10 pack. These are great to put on the tops of bottles so that you can just roll them on your kids in a wink. I love the kids' oils because the carrier's already mixed in with the essential oil for their tiny skin. So there's literally no prep work with this bundle at all. If you guys have not bought these yet, this is what they look like. Okay. They come in a little plastic bag and they've got these metal roller on them. And it's really neat. You just put this little roller ball inside the cap, put the cap on top of the bottle and screw it down as hard as you can. And the cap actually sticks the roller to the bottle, which is pretty neat. So the next action step. So now you got to go get some Aroma Glide bottles and get that little oiler kit and turn the whole thing into roll-ons. So truly dig into the oilabilityteam.com website for this class. So we have absolutely loaded the site. What does that mean? I showed you the PowerPoints up there with the videos and science. You could just download it and read it. You've got textable classes, graphics with science and data for you to share, and a challenge calendar to get you oiling with intent and purpose all month long, and a demo of the class taught in person and more. In fact, we have this much content up for every single class of the core 5 classes and a lot of content for the other 20 classes in the script book. So every single week that I teach another class, we're going to launch another media package. So by the time I'm done with boot camp, you're going to have media packages for all 25 classes in the script book, and it never costs you anything. It's totally free. So go scope it out. Go do something. Go grab one of those shareable graphics and share it. Go print off the calendar and share it with one person on your team. Teach a kids class to 3 people on your team this week and have them print the calendar and utilize it. Go on that scavenger hunt through the kids class. So the next action step is this is a really good place to start some training on the reference guides because you never know what's going to show up with your kids. I mean, they are masters at picking things up outside and bumping into things and bumping into each other. So most of the reference guides are arranged 2 ways, either by oil or by how you use the oil. So my favorite guides are at discoverlsp.com. That's Life Science Publishing. They're amazing people. So for example, at the top of the page on ginger, it reads, traditionally used to combat nausea. For the bonus training in this class, I'm going to give you some of my major tips on how to read a reference guide effectively. Maybe you've never been trained on reading reference guides, so we're just going to take that apart. Another action step. Think about some of the areas where you can protect your kids from chemicals that you don't like. And I want you to write down a wish list of all the things you're using on your kids that really aren't the best choice. So maybe you've got a car freshener in your car. Maybe they're using bad hand sanitizer that's got, just icky ingredients and stuff in it. Maybe, you don't have all their personal care stuff swapped out yet. So start thinking through some of those places in your house where your kids are exposed to chemicals. Maybe it's your laundry room, right? And make a wish list of things that you want to start swapping out. Now I want you to go to youngliving.com and see if Young Living has an equivalent to some of those things. The next action step is pray for discernment and conviction on how to best protect your family. When negativity creeps in or there are feelings of being overwhelmed, I want you to remind yourself that God has your family and the little steps that you're taking absolutely are enough. As a matter of fact, why don't we just pray right now? Together, just as Team Young Living, just pray over discernment and conviction for our families. All right. I'll do it really quick. I promise. Dear Jesus, I just thank you for the people that are on Boot Camp Live. I mean, what an honor to get to hang out with so many people from all around the world every week. People with families, mamas and grandmas and aunties and sisters and friends, Lord. And so I just pray that, knowledge of oils is not overwhelming to them. They don't step back and go, oh my gosh, there's so many things. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know where to start. God, give them a discernment on where to start and give them a conviction on what needs to be next, Lord, and just lay it on their heart heavily, where they need to begin and help them to rule out all those things that don't matter and focus on the things that you have that do matter for them. Give them, supernatural discernment on which things need to go that just aren't worth keeping in the home because they're causing damage to their little hormones, their endocrine system, or, causing problems, being stored in their brain or in their liver and things that they shouldn't just be exposed to. Or we don't always see the consequences as parents of things that we pick out for our children. So that means that the discernment has to come from you. We have to feel that black and white, or we're not going to jump and kick some of this other stuff out of our homes. So I just pray that you rain down on the people that are watching boot camp and give them that heart tug to really go into their house and dig deep into their cabinets and throw some of that stuff away, the toxic nail polish and, all the things, Lord, that we start looking at our body as a temple of the Holy Spirit and something that needs to be protected. God, you are good. You are faithful. We are enough. And the little bites that you give us to work on, God, may we not look at that as something that's a burden, but something that's a joy because we're protecting our families through the process. I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. So discernment and conviction on how to best protect your family. The next action step is if you're not into carrying all the oils around with you, then make sure that they are where you will be. Take the 6 Kid Sense oils and place them where you're going to use them. So for example, maybe Sleepy Eyes and Sniffles you put on a shelf above your little one's bed or, on a bookcase in their room. Maybe Tummy Jies you put in the bathroom. Maybe Kid Power you put in a bag that you always take for play dates, like your diaper bag. Maybe Owie oil you keep in the living room or you keep it in a playroom where your kids are hanging out the most. Where do your kids play in the house the most? If it's their bedroom, keep it in their bedroom. Maybe Genius, you keep that at the table where your kids are doing their homework, or you keep it next to the diffuser. So if you're placing your oils strategically where you're going to use them, you're a lot more likely to crack open the bottles. This happens to me almost every night, Claire, as I look down at my nails. Piggy paint. I love that stuff. It's really good. It's non-toxic. One of the things is I always try to keep oils by my bedstand. So I have a little toe fungus that I've been working on. And, when I looked up in my reference guide, they said oregano is really good for supporting healthy nails. So I was like, hey, you know what? Why don't I just throw it on there? Well, I've noticed the days that I have it on my nightstand, I put it on before I go to bed. The days that I've moved it and I'm using it for other things, I'm not putting it on, right? So put it in places where you're going to use it strategically. All right. Oh, thank you guys. I love praying with you guys. So next action step. Do you guys like these? These are things to really get you moving. Keep reading about kids' oils to get some ideas on how to oil your kids. So some of my favorite books on oiling children are Essential Heroes, which is a whole book set written by one of my silver leaders, Caleb Selby, and it's written for children. Gentle Babies is like the creme de la creme of books when it comes to babies and kids. It's Deborah Starkey is a genius and a naturopath doctor, and she's just Royal Crown Diamond in Young Living, and her book is the Bible of usage for babies. So I would recommend that you get that in your hands and continue learning about clean living with kids. Mindful Kids by Pamela Hunter, really good friend of mine, one of the original Young Living diamonds. She's been with the company for a very long time, very gifted speaker. And Stacy Vaughn, both of them, they publish that through Life Science Publishing. That kids book about essential oils by Jackie Kartak. I had the honor of signing books at convention right next to Jackie Kartak, and she is just the kindest person you will ever meet in your life. Just such a sweetheart. But that one's really cool. It's almost written cartoon style and all colored in. Inner Transformations Using Essential Oils by Dr. Leanne Dearduff. I had the honor of meeting her when I was writing this book, just to see if she would give permissions for putting a graphic on hormones in the workbook, and she did grant the permission. She's a wonderful woman. Aroma Child, Boosting Your Child's Brain Power by Donna Chow is a newer book. And then any reference guide, getting your hands on some reference guides. So next action step is your kids are going to become pro oilers just by seeing you oil. If you don't believe it, here's my granddaughter who's a year old. She is oiling herself. She literally does it right in front of me. She's amazing, right? So introduce them first to the smells and show them how wonderful they are and how much you love them. They're going to trust oils because they trust you. And then put oils on in front of them and make it something very positive. They're going to start to warm up to oils and even put them on themselves. So here's my granddaughter, Lila, and she is a beast when it comes to oiling. She knows exactly what to do. And that's a little bottle of Sniffles in my 3-year-old granddaughter's hands. So the third section is diffuser recipes. We're just about done with the workbook. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. So the blends that come in the little Oilers bundle are just that. They're blends. And I don't really like to blend Gary Young's perfectly blended blends. So let's come up with 3 of our own. And you guys can try some of these this week. So the first one, Kid Blend 1, is Time to Wake Up. It's 4 drops peppermint, 2 drops bergamot, 2 drops lime, and 2 drops orange. What I do is I get their diffuser set up for the morning at night. And I put the water in, put all the oils in, and I don't turn the diffuser on because my kids have no problem nodding off and going to sleep. In the weekends, I'll put blends in for the night for letting them sleep. But during the week, just to make it quick for us getting to school and getting everything done, I set their diffuser up at night for the morning. And then in the morning, I just go in their room. I don't even wake them up. I go in and I just hit run on the diffuser. And usually the diffuser wakes my kids up. The peppermint, everything that's in there. So that's one of our favorite blends to get in the diffuser for the morning. So Kids Blend 2 is called My Brother Just Punched Me, or Happy Oil. 3 drops lavender, 2 drops orange, 1 drop copaiba. Orange is the oil of happy childhood memories. That's going to bring all those really good memories you had when you were a kid back to the forefront of your mind. And then Kids Blend number 3 is Yo, You Smell. This one's designed mostly for teenagers. We're going to be making little graphics that you can share with your teams for each of these diffuser recipes. There'll be shareable graphics for social media up on this page. So, I'm doing my best to get as many things as I can on the website, but it's a lot of work behind the scenes. I mean, there's a lot of work just to write this, I'm still working on the mini right now. So we get the content up as fast as we can. So just go back and recheck and you will see new things on the website all the time. So 5 drops of orange for Yo You Smell, 2 drops of neroli. I purposely picked oils that maybe you're not using a lot in your house. I want you to start breaking out some of these other oils. So you'll notice my diffuser blends are a little bit weird because I'm going for different things. Neroli is actually the flowers of the orange plant. So by using this blend, you're actually using 2 different, it's the same tree. The orange, you got the orange rinds from the orange fruit, and then you got the flowers. So it's the same plant. And then 2 drops of tea tree and 1 drop of purification. It's going to get rid of that smell. So here's some loyalty rewards ideas. And I'm just going to fly through these really quickly. 4 and 5 will always do really fast when we're doing workbook nights, just to give you some different ideas. So for month 1, you get the starter bundle, little oil starter bundle. Add to it toothpaste and Mighty Vites, the vitamin. At $2.50, lotion, bath gel, and shampoo. And at $300, Mighty Pro, which is prebiotics and probiotics. For month 2, grab an extra Feather the Owl diffuser for maybe your playroom or your living room. I would get some Mighty Zyme chewable tablets. KidSense Unwind, that's magnesium. Every child needs magnesium. It's going to help them handle stress a little bit better. Thieves Waterless Hand Sanitizer. And then $2.50, Kids Tender Tush and Diaper Rash Cream. $300 is Seedlings Baby Wipes. And then month 3, the Roll-On Collection. So you're kind of rewarding yourself for learning all of this stuff. If you already have, the starter bundle, it never hurts to have backups of these. And then $2.50, For the recipe, 3 drops grapefruit, 3 drops lemon, 3 drops bergamot, and 1 drop cedarwood. That's a playtime diffuser blend. So if you don't have grapefruit, lemon, bergamot, and cedarwood, that's a really good mix for a playroom. And then 300 PV Ningxia Red instead of the yucky juice drinks, because juice drinks are loaded with sugar. Do you know what the number one way that your kids get cavities before age 5? Number one reason your kids get cavities is juice. It's giving them juice. So I don't give my kids juicy juice. I don't give them orange juice. Like if we have any of that stuff, we've juiced it ourselves and we do it like on the weekend. I'm not giving it to them every day. Primarily my kids are getting water, and sometimes they will get Ningxia Red in their smoothie and they'll get a little bit of raw milk, but we do not do a lot of juice in our house unless we're juicing. Where to use Tender Tush instead of diaper rash cream? Yes. Yep, you got that right. So checklist of products mentioned in the class. We're going to kind of just glaze over that, and my workbook users can look at that. So let's look at some bonus training that's not included in the script book. I want to talk about reference guides for a couple of minutes, because a reference guide can be a little bit overwhelming. It's a massive encyclopedia, and it's loaded with ailments that are intended to help you navigate the world of oils. So if my kid gets a cut, what's the best cut if they've got a little bit of bleeding on that? I would answer helichrysum or geranium, both of those. But sometimes the guides can be a bit hard to navigate your way around. So has anybody ever trained you how to read those things? We're going to do it in the workbook. We're going to do it right now. Let's get trained on how to read a reference guide. So here are my top how to read a reference guide tips. And these are just, things that I picked up by reading it. I'm not anywhere near a pro. And I'm sure if you sat down with people that wrote these guides, they could probably give you much better tips. But it was the first thing I did when I got my when I got my starter kit, was I ordered a reference guide and I read it cover to cover in a weekend. And then I went through and I took my reference guide and I put it next to my catalog and I started looking up what all the oils did and made an order. Like I ordered which oils I wanted to order when, based on importance, based on what I read in that reference guide. So let's see. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like the training. These workbooks are legit. So tip number 1 for how to read a reference guide: only use a guide that recommends Young Living oils. And I mean this deeply, guys. I am a certified clinical aromatherapist. I've been to 6 different schools for aromatherapy. It's stupid. Don't do it. It's a total waste of your time. I've learned way more applying the oils than I ever did going to school. But every single school I went to propagated misinformation. Every single school. There is a lot of fear mongering in the world of oils. Many out there say internal oils are not safe. You know what's really interesting though? The FDA says they are safe. So, okay, we got a major government agency in the United States monitoring a $2.5 billion global company, and they're not stopping us from producing internal oils. So you got to step back and say, okay, is there a point where maybe some of the things that I'm reading aren't really true? Or maybe they apply to a specific type of oil and not to the oil that I'm using? What I would say is that there would be millions of deaths around the world if people who take them daily discovered that internal oils were unsafe. I mean, we're just 6 million people in Young Living alone using oils internally all the time. So with that said, my favorite guide is the one that you can get at Life Science Publishing. So it's discoverlsp.com. They're wonderful people. You're just going to look under the reference guides there. Those are Young Living friendly. So I would start there rather than going on Amazon like I did and getting tons of misinformation. Just go grab a guide that's actually a Young Living guide. Number 2, the older the guide, generally, the more is in it. So if you can get your hands on a first edition or second edition or third edition reference guide, they are liquid gold. My personal favorite is third. I really like the third edition. So I'd also recommend Gary Young's Essential Oils Integrative Medical Guide, which isn't in print anymore. It's getting really hard to find, but it's a great resource for emergencies. That's the only medical book that Gary wrote himself. So the reference guides were written off of, speaking and notes and all that kind of stuff. But the medical guide, Gary actually wrote that one all by himself. So that one is like my go-to guide. The third one, if I'm just ordering guides in order of importance, okay? Third one is when you first open it, the amount of content is really alarming. Don't be overwhelmed. Okay, don't be overwhelmed. I recommend that you sit down for an evening or sit down for 3 evenings and read the front matter to the guide. Everybody always skips over it and just goes and looks up oils for certain things. You go look up an oil for a bump, look up an oil for a cut, right? Don't do that. Like actually take a couple of nights, put it next to your nightstand, get a highlighter, get a pencil. There's actually more information in that front matter to those reference guides than like all of my aromatherapy certifications put together. No joke. I'm not even messing with you. So read the front matter to the guide. It's going to answer so many of your questions, like how essential oils work. The missing link. If you can get your hands on a copy of that, that was actually Gary Young's 101 class when he first started all the way back at the beginning of oils. So many of these things are inside those reference guides at the very beginning in the front matter that we skip all the time. So read until you get to the part of the guide where it launches into each oil and what they do. And then I want you to pause. So the fourth tip for how to read a reference guide is, yes, you can read the entire thing top to bottom, but that's not really the best use of your time. Not when you're talking about an encyclopedia. The reality is that you're not really going to remember most of what you read. So what I recommend instead is to start hunting for your oil's wow moment. So make a list of the top 3 things in your wellness journey that you are working on right now, and then go look them up in the guide and start writing protocols for your family based on what you read. And then I want you to go play. So, there's so much training in that first 100 pages, and it's really, really good. And I really think a lot of schools of thought just don't even pay any attention to science and some of the latest science that's out there. So number 5, so my tip for 4 was to make a list of 3 things that you are working on, look up those 3 things, and then work on them. I had some swollen lymph nodes, and I looked up in the reference guide and it said grapefruit was really good for lymph node support. I was like, hey, why not? $15 bottle of oil. I ordered it, put it on my lymph nodes, 3 applications, and they were feeling really good. So, I'm just, looking things up that you're actually working on instead of just always reaching for what you do. You're not going to learn anything if you don't start looking some of the stuff up that you're dealing with. So number 5, but how the missing link is a track that Gary recorded. So it's his voice. And I don't know if Life Science is still publishing it. You're really going to have to dig for it to see if you can find it. To my knowledge, it's not in print, but sometimes the text of it is typed out in some of those earlier reference guides. So see if you can find it. So, but how do I read the guide? Tip number 5. This is the bonus training in the workbook if you're just joining us, the Game Plan Scriptbook workbook. So start by doing a quick flip through with a pencil and paper and briefly write down the topics that you're interested in. I usually do at least one top-down topical scan and write down all the things that we may have in our family. So basically you're just flipping through the pages, just kind of scanning each of the things that it lists and saying, oh, headaches. Okay, we have those. I'm going to write that down. Oh yeah, my son bumps into things all the time. I'm going to write that down. And so the things that we actually deal with, I write down those topics that I'm interested in. And then I usually do at least one top-down scan, write down the things that we might have in our family, not meant to take an extremely long time, maybe 1 to 2 hours, to just flip through the book and make a list of the things you want to start working on in the next 12 months. So what I'm doing is I'm just quickly scanning all the entries for things that pertain to my family and writing them down. Then I want you to order them by importance. Then go back in, pick one, and that is what you focus on for that month for loyalty rewards. So go get the protocol like I did with the grapefruit and my lymph nodes and just give it a try. I mean, that was how I learned my very first skill in oiling. I had no idea that grapefruit was good for lymph. But I did after I consulted my reference guide, and after 3 applications, voila, right? So point number 6 in how to read a reference guide. What do the pages look like when you're actually opening a reference guide and you're looking at them? They got a whole bunch of stuff on them that you might not even know what it is. So dissect it for me. Most of the oils contain a few key bits of information that you can use to get some really good information. So they're going to give you the full species name. They're going to give you directions on how to use the oil. They'll give you the botanical family and where that oil is sourced. Did you know that our celery seed comes from Europe? It's going to tell you how the oil is extracted. Celery is steam distilled from dried seeds. Then it's going to tell you what the prime constituents are in the oil, which is liquid gold. A quick Google search of the constituents will tell you exactly what you can use that oil for. So celery is 60 to 75% limonene. The secondary constituent is beta-celanine. That's a very powerful one. So go Google beta-celanine. It's going to tell you what the ORAC score is. In the same paragraph or in a different section of the book, it might tell you what the oil is commonly used for, like digestion or to increase milk flow in nursing mothers, or maybe as a diuretic. In many of the oils, it's going to break down multiple uses: aromatic, topical, and internal. So that's how you read the actual, entry into the reference guide. Tip number 7. The bottom line in reading a reference guide is not to get overloaded with information, which is really, really easy to do. You go in, you get what you need for your family, and you get out. Okay, go in, get what you need, get out. Unless you're reading the front matter, that I want you to read the whole thing. So pick one small thing and then focus on it. When you study, use the guide to kick off your research, but finish the rest of it online. So sometimes I'll Google things like studies with oils high in D-limonene to get the dirt off of how some oils are being used. Also, PubMed.com is a wonderful site that gives you the latest science on essential oils. It can be a bit tricky to read research reports, but usually the findings are summarized at the top. So, you're going to use the reference guide, you're going to get an idea, and you're like, okay, well, I wonder if it does this, this, this. And then you use that as your launching pad for the internet. So it's going to give you enough information. You can go to the internet and type in a few keywords about that oil, and you'll find out if it's something that you're looking for. So number 7, how do you know which oil to use when there's a list for whatever element you have? It's usually inside the reference books. All this information is in the workbook. Yes, you guys need to go get the workbook. I'm training you out of the script book, Game Plan Oil Script Book workbook right now. So I got eight points. So here's number 7. We're about to wrap up. The bottom line in reading a reference guide is not to get overloaded with information, right? So you're just picking one thing and you're staying focused on that one thing that you're studying. Number 8, PubMed, PubMed, PubMed.com. So number 8 is the moral of the story is that you're not going to learn anything by just picking up a book. It's your starting place, right? Everybody thinks they're going to open the book and it's going to fix everything. No, it's your starting place. You've got to put what you read into action. So some things might apply to you and some things might not apply to you. That's biochemistry. But I can rest at night knowing that I didn't tax my liver with things that don't need to be in my body by experimenting with other ways. God created plants and God created humans and God created plants for humans and they work really well together. And he said that they would. So try a little oil, see if you get the result that you're looking for. And if not, try the next thing on the list. Rarely do I make a roll on with every single oil that's suggested in the reference guide. So you're going to pick a couple or maybe just the first one. I usually go with the first one in the reference guide and then go from there because, you might look up pain and there's 30 oils listed. So it's hard to isolate what works when you're throwing many things at the wall at the same time. So we're up to number 7. Are you guys enjoying this content? This is the first time that we've done any of this content. So number 7, how do you track your pre-order? They should all be going out within the next week. All of them. All right. So this is a DIY craft from the class. So we're talking all things kids with this class, and that includes tiny kids. This is a really funny story. So I have a woman on my team who's very, very gifted at making graphics and, putting together Insta stories and coming up with really neat ideas. We call her the DIY queen. And she called this recipe baby repellent. I think she meant to say insect repellent, but I was like, oh, okay. So it gets rid of babies. We thought it was so funny that we left it in the book exactly the way that she designed it because I was dying laughing. So when you see it, you're gonna be like, baby repellent? I said, is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, it was. We're just being silly. So this includes tiny kids working on all things. So Young Living's insect repellent is safe for any age, but it does derive a lot of ingredients from many plants. There's seed to seal unsprayed plants, but there's a lot of ingredients in it because it's many plants. And my rule of thumb in working with babies, like little ones and toddlers and some preschoolers, is that less is more. So if you can find something with 3 or 4 ingredients, then there's less chance that their little skin's going to respond negatively. I'd love to say that every child that comes into this world has a gut of cast iron, but the reality is that even some of their mom's sensitivities may have been passed to them at birth. Even a plant, when introduced early to the skin, may cause a child to have some redness. So if you're wanting to play it safe, here's a quick DIY with only 3 ingredients, and it works great, even for newborn babies. I've used this on little babies. So it was created by one of my oil ability leaders, Amy Brocky. The title cracked me up because, baby repellent, but it's actually bugs, just bugs. Stay focused. All right. Maybe it keeps baby insects away. Let's move on. So baby insect repellent, you put 8 drops of cedarwood oil, 8 drops of lavender, and 5 drops of purification, and you mix it in a 2-ounce spray bottle. And then you're going to be adding just a little splash of witch hazel, and make sure your witch hazel has no alcohol in them. And then top it off with some distilled water. Amy says this worked great for my friend's baby. That baby was about 4 months old. So number 8 is affirmations for the class. These are 14 affirmations that were written for your kids. Because I want your kids to be thinking positively about themselves. So there's no one to be better than myself. I'm enough. I get better every single day. All of my problems have solutions. Today, I'm a leader. I'm ready to learn. My confidence grows when I step outside my comfort zone. I am capable of so much. Everything will be okay. Today is going to be a great day. My mistakes help me to learn and to grow. I believe in my dreams. I only compare myself to myself. I matter. I matter. So those are little things that you can say over your kids at night. All right. So now that we got number 9, which is journaling, and I ask you the same questions each time. So we'll move through this kind of quickly, but think through some of the questions as you put your journal together, or just write what's on your mind. Which oils have I used this day, week, or month? What results did I see? Is there a story that I want to remember, an oil story? Like, you don't want to forget some of your journey, so you can track your entire journey in one spot. Did I help somebody this week? What did I do? Did I see a new idea with oils in social media or elsewhere that I'd like to try? What hit me from this class, and what would I like to learn more about? And what are my current oils goals? All right, I promised you guys the hangman game. So here we go. Get your pencils ready, because you're going to be able to put the first letter in. Our letter for the night is I. And you're going to fill it in under the 5th square, because this is the 105 class, right? So did you get all the exercises completed? Now you need to go back and do some of these. Make the DIY, cross out the action steps. But once you get them done, your first letter in the puzzle to unlock the secret page for the first Scriptbook 2 class under share at oilabilityteam.com is the letter I. So you're going to go to the 5th square and you're going to put in the letter I. I'll show you where that is in a minute. And then number 10 is just a place for you to do some follow up with your team. So say you taught this class and you had a couple of people in it. You put the date and their name down. Did you give them a couple of the minis? So the Scriptbook mini, do you guys know about that? That markets your classes for you. So they come back and they're asking for more training. All those people that came to 1 class or 2 classes, they're now coming to 10 or 25 classes, because this mini is marketing you. It's marketing what you can teach. So they're going to come back looking for more. What about Fearless? That explains why we oil. And the game plan mini gives the business opportunities. So, make sure you're getting some of these little minis in their hands. Put their contact information down. Have they had the core 5? So Oils, Thieves, Ningxia, CBD Kids class. So we're going to slay the first 4 next week. Other classes I've taught, maybe they sat in a seedlings class. What's the class they want next? So you can get them funneled into that next class. Maybe you just have a list of people that you want to teach this class to. Many of you guys mentioned doing this as a grandkids class, where you're teaching to grandparents and how to take care of their grandkids. So write their names down and their contact information. And each time you invite them, put a little checks in the little invited checkbox. And that wraps up the workbook for Essential Oils 105, which puts us into 106. I'm pretty stoked about that. Let me show you in the back of the book the hangman game here real quick, because I want you guys to see where you're going to be plugging all your letters in that I just gave you. So this is our oily hangman game. You're going to have to put it under the 105 class. So you got 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. So your letter's going to go right there. And when you get to the bottom and you got all the scripts together, you've unlocked the secret page for the first Scriptbook 2 class on my website, which is pretty cool. And also, just to encourage you guys, when you finish the entire workbook, I put a little present in the very back of the workbook, so make sure you read to the very end. But it's a little certificate. So if you're doing this with your team over the course of the next year or so, you can actually print out certificates for them and give it to them at a leaders retreat or, get together. And it says, congratulations on completing the Game Plan Oils Scriptbook Workbook. You are a 25 class oils guru. Now go and share with the world. All right? And that wraps up our training tonight of the workbook. So let me pick a couple of winners. I'm going to give some workbooks away tonight. I know the secret page, right? So secret. I'm going to give away some workbooks. So tell me something you guys learned. And then we're going to run a contest all weekend long. While I head down to Florida, I want to see who's sharing those social media graphics from the 105 Kids class and who's made some DIYs and who's teaching the class. So watch, I'm going to be running contests all weekend on my page. And it'll be different little contests related to the kids class. So tell me something that you guys have learned from the workbook tonight and all these practical application tips. I'm thinking about recording the workbook to Audible also, because there's just so much training in it. If that's something you think would bless you, tell me if you want that book on Audible too, and I might record them both. So Carol Pierce, you're winner number 1 for my Scriptbook workbook. Erica Schutzau, Scheutzow, you're winner number 2. And Heather Ackerman Lawler, you are winner number 3. Where did I see Nolly? Where is she? Where did you go, girl? There we go. Nali Carmona says, today is my 2-year anniversary with Young Living. You know what? I'm going to give you a workbook, Nali, and happy anniversary. I'm so excited you were on. So I will not go live again until Tuesday night, but Tuesday we are going to break out the core 4 class, the very first classes of the core 5. So you don't want to miss next week because it's going to be rapid fire. So Tuesday is all things oils. Wednesday is all things thieves. Thursday is all things Ningxia, and Friday is all things CBD. We're doing the book and the workbook, the script and the workbook in one sitting because I've already taught these classes. So the Core 5 boot camp, and we've only got 5 more days until we launch that. If you don't have your books, you got plenty of time to get your books. Go get the teacher's edition up on my website, oilabilityteam.com, or you can go grab the Oiler edition. You can get it in bulk. Do you know it's discounted almost half off if you go grab a couple of these and take your leaders through this? We're only 1 class in, guys. Go grab it. Get 3 of your leaders on, get 5 of your leaders on, get it discounted and get it in their hands so that they can do this training with you. And then you're duplicating this across your entire team, even if you're just doing it with product users. So this is on my website. It's also on Amazon. And then the workbook, if you want to get it by Tuesday, I would say go grab them off of Amazon. The workbook and the script book are both up on Amazon right now. So I love you guys. Does each person in the class need a workbook? I mean, if they're on your team, I would invest in it for sure. Absolutely. Because they're going to get that really deep training, definitely for product users. So love you guys. Steve got half of the teacher's edition shipped out already. The guy's a beast. I showed you a picture of his living room right now. It's pretty crazy. So he's nuts. So he's shipping thousands of orders every single day. So pray over the Sheridan house and join me again Tuesday night. Watch this page all weekend long for contests. I'll be picking winners like crazy. And just to say thank you to you for investing in yourself and investing in your teams. The purpose of this project is to carry on Gary's vision of bringing oils to every home in the world. I hope that you just got 100 ideas from this class, and new ways that you can use some of these oils and get excited about oiling all over again. So I love you guys, and I will see you in person again next Tuesday. All right. And we're going to kick off the rest of the Core 5 classes. Bye.